Nabandiko bimanaye,
nabandiko bengaye mese.
Mobali avimbi moto,
akanisi biloko yangaye.
Mobali akutinga na ndenge ya sengi ya komandenga na ndimi. Nabandiko bimanaye,
nabandiko bengaye mese.
Mario avimbi moto,
akanisi biloko yangaye.
Mario nabaye yo, bimana yo na lebi yo, mema bilamba nabaye yo.
Mario, à travers yo, napesa baleki mosusu toli, bokomi kolina basi ya bato mpona bambongo na bango. Mobali asali mbongo apesi mwasi, yo okei oke kovandela ye osilisa yango. Yo Mario, okuti ndako appartement kitoko, biloko yi moto asombi te, yo olali obandi telefone télévision. Mario, kanisaka mobali asombaka mokambo na lipasi. Likambo nini Mario? Likambo nalo bakuta ezali te Mario.
Koyoka motema pasi te nako.
The main purpose for the celebrations of this day is to recognize the contributions by older persons towards the national development and to create awareness of their rights and needs as older persons. Further, government on this day and other stakeholders like InterAid take stock of what has been achieved during the year, the gaps and the possible solutions to address the challenges faced by older persons. Globally, the number of older persons, and older persons for your information are those persons who are 60 years and above, is projected to be more than double. That is from 841 million in 2013 to over 2 billion in 2050. This will be over and above the number of children below 14 years for the first time. So by 2050, 8 out of 10 in the world's older population will live in less developed countries like ours. Unfortunately, this trend is getting many of developing countries unaware. We are not ready. In Uganda, the theme for these celebrations and for our reflection this year is Act Now, Take a Stand Against Discrimination of Older Persons. This theme was selected to emphasize the protection of older persons' rights in all spheres, but particularly in service delivery. Quite often, older persons' rights are violated in communities because of the negative perceptions that people have against them. I believe this situation is not very different among the refugees. From already what I've been hearing, the mama who said the poem, the chairperson of the older persons, he has pushed it all. He has emphasized all this. The theme further emphasizes development interventions that empower and dignify all lives of older persons wherever they are. And I wish to thank InterAid once again, Red Cross, for all you are doing in promoting the rights of the older persons. Because your interventions are promoting their dignity and their rights. Right to family, right to services, any type of services. I'm glad that Uganda is one of the countries with the most favorable environment for refugees, which allow the host communities to mingle with refugees, and they move freely and they can engage in different gainful activities. I've already heard this from the chairperson, which is very, very encouraging. Because older persons contribute to the wealth creation, they mentor our young ones. They look after orphans. Even in this old age, all over Uganda, and I know among you are looking after the orphans. And then you make valuable contribution in different ways. Age is associated with vulnerability. Time and again, older persons are abused, socially, physically, sexually, economically, and psychologically. Their basic human rights, such as the right to life and liberty, right to work, right to freedom from discrimination, are always violated. I have already interacted with some other persons, and they are caring for vulnerable, although they have less energy to perform activities which the young ones engage in. The speech the chairperson has made, I don't know whether you were in per day and I missed you, but it's like a carbon copy of what other persons say in per day. We are privileged to have His Excellency the President in per day, and the other persons put almost 5 things across. They talk to His Excellency about the poverty, fighting poverty among the other persons. Then they talked about health, lack of floods in health services. They talked about a law, that they need a law in place which should protect their rights. They said though the parliament is around, they feel that people or the other persons in parliament are not representing their interests. They are in their own class. So they also asked representation in parliament. The last but not least, which is an achievement which has been made, which I feel is one of the way forward for other persons, is to have a national council for other persons. Right now, we already have a national council for other persons, and you know what councils are. They are supposed to monitor interventions towards other persons and to advise government where the gaps are. So the first time this year, we have a council for other persons. And one of the things I will do when I go back, I think, is to talk to the chairman. Probably he may have to interact more and more with the Inter-Age, Red Cross, Refugee Law, Refugee Law Project. All these people are interacting with the other persons, and we'll get to know how to move. As government, it's important to note that we already have a national policy for other persons, and what you are saying is not new. Because under the policy, which is our framework, which guides all these interventions, the priority areas of focus are economic empowerment, social security, food security and nutrition, and this is what Mzee has been saying, health care and lifestyle for other persons, then also HIV and AIDS. Some other persons are telling us they are caring for the orphans who are already infected, and some of them are still active, but they miss out on the what? On the information. Then psychosocial support and care for other persons. Interventions for other persons who are in conflict areas and emergencies. Then the other part is water and sanitation. This is also an area for other persons. Shelter, Mzee has already said it. Many other persons have shelter. Then gender, as women, other women have different issues from other men. So some of the issues should be looked into. Then the addressing of the elder abuse. I'm sure some of you who watch TV, every other day, you see that another person is being abused. Either it's a land because the children want to grab the land, either it's another woman who has been sexually abused. So many things are going on in the lives of the other persons. And then, this but not least, accessibility. We know as you grow old, you tend, and the energy is wearing away, you tend to get disabilities, different disabilities. So we need assistive devices and accessible environment. All this are anchored in the policy, but I think what we have to do is to see how to move it ahead. I know we have been away, not away outside Uganda, but within the refugee settlement, you haven't been seeing very many ministries. And it is out of the initiative of such organizations like the Inter-Aid that we thought, actually in World Vision, because we've been in places like Adjumani, that we are coming in slowly to see which interventions we can give to our older persons. Otherwise, I think it has been OPM. But slowly we'll see how to address some of what you are putting across. Also, what we have in place, which I would encourage the service provider to use, is the social gerontology meaning manual. This manual was put in place by Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development to disseminate information or to build the capacity for the social workers on issues, to appreciate and understand issues of older persons. It targets these community workers and civil society organizations, among others. The users are expected to have greater awareness and better knowledge of the issues affecting older persons in all settings. As I've already said, there are so many service providers, but also the negative attitude. Some of them think you don't need these services. So this manual is supposed to help them to have greater awareness and better knowledge of issues affecting older persons in all settings, and also to have that capacity to effectively work with the older persons. As I end today, I may not be able to promise all, but I've recorded everything the chairperson of the older person has said, and as I said, we may need to have to take it to another level with discussions. All the issues are similar, and I know, as you know, policies, you are supposed to be accessing mainstream services like other Ugandans. So where we find the issues, we have to sit and we see how we can address them. I wish to appeal to you as we mark this day to reflect on the interventions and also advocate. Government is one service provider, but there are so many other service providers in this area. So we should advocate and aim at removing barriers that violate the rights of the older persons so that they lead dignified lives. Once again, I wish to thank the organizers, which include Inter-Aid, Red Cross, then Refugee Law Project, and HIAS. Thank you very much for supplementing the government's effort, for working with us, and I think together we have a saying which says together we can do what? Bite the meat. So we can see how we can always collaborate, and we see how to move issues of older persons at the forward front. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Thank you very much. Advocacy officer, come and get the right location, and we get the group photo. Chairperson, older person, yuko wapi?
Tunataka inajiandaa kukamata picha nzuri, picha ya ukumbusho pamoja sisi sote, picha ambayo tutakumbukia kwa hii siku. Na
wenye walikuwa wanaenda kujipimisha macho kule nyuma waendelee, na baada ya hapo wakupisha vipimo vingine tutaendelea. Wacha tutengeneze, tukimaliza foto tutaendelea na maservices zetu zingine. Asante sana.